You can go to the Patreon link in the description of this video to receive instant access to the entire course with either a Tier 2 or 3 subscription, or by purchasing the course individually. Alright, so now I want to talk to you a little bit about tuning up our guitar. So we have a standard 10-string E9 guitar. So I'm going to give you a very basic setup on how to tune it. And we'll start at the top, or the farthest string from you. We'll go through each string and I'll show you how to tune it on the guitar, and then we'll show how to tune the pedals. So to play in a band or to play in a group, everybody in that group or band needs to be in tune together, so there's no dissonance in the group. Now, a lot of times you can have it's very worth your while to get a tuner, an electronic tuner, and we've talked about that also, that there's even apps on phones now that you can get where you don't even have to purchase one. They're absolutely free, so you can do that. Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds too far. There's a lot of camps out there on tuning everything to certain pitches or tempered or whatever that. We'll hit some highlights on those things, but my main concern is to get you just a very basic way to tune, maybe the easiest way that we can figure this out. So if we're tuning, a lot of times on a tuner, you'll have a meter on it, and the normal pitch that everybody talks about is called 440. And we can show that on our video here, and we can show some inserts of those to show you what we're talking about. So also you'll notice that too, there's numbers on that. So 440, 442, or 438, 436. So we're not going to get really too hung up on the tempered part of it. I'm just going to show you an easy way to get you really close on tune with your guitar, because also you can get into things where they have what they call cabinet drop, where actually when you press the pedals that it actually flexes the cabinet, it flexes this guitar because there's so much stress on it, so it'll actually change that tuning also. So we're not going to really worry about that too much. We're going to get you in a very basic tuning and show you how to do that. Alright, so let's look now at how you tune the guitar. When I say that we're going to tune the guitar open, I simply mean that we're not using any pedals or knee levers. We're simply trying to get this guitar in tune to start playing. Now, if you look at the key head, which is down here where the keys are, there's 10 keys because we're playing a 10-string guitar. Now, if you look at the key that's farthest away from you, that's going to be what I call, or what I denote as, the first string. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Comes straight across. This would be your 6th string. 7, 8, 9, 10. So the string closest to you on the guitar, this string right here, is called the 10th string. Now, when you're looking at your tuner, in the middle of that tuner is what they call 440. Now, if you bring the pitch up, or you sharpen the pitch, you're raising that string. If you go to the left of that pitch, you're lowering that string, or say it went from 440 to 438. The number simply decreased. If you sharpened it, the number would increase. It'd be 440 to like maybe 442. Now, to achieve that on this key open, you turn the key to the right or clockwise if you want to bring that pitch up. So if I wanted to go from 440 to 442 or 444, I would turn that key this way. The opposite of that would be, if I want to lower that pitch, I would turn the key this way to the left. So I would physically turn this key this way, counterclockwise, and that would bring it like from 440 to 438, 436, 432, 430. Okay? So if I say I want you to tune the 4th string, you would count 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the key that we're worried about. That's the key that we're going to concentrate on. That would be the 4th one. And if I say bring that key up or bring that note up, sharp. To raise the pitch, you would turn it clockwise. If I said you need to bring that down to 432, you would tune it down this way. You would tune it to the left or counterclockwise. Okay, so that's how we're going to tune this guitar, this instrument open. We've got 10 strings. This would be the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th string. And this is how we're going to deal with that tuning open. And this is where we're going to be concentrating on for open tuning. All right, so now that we've got our tuner hooked up to the guitar, I'm just going to show you one string real quick and how we would tune that, what that would look like on this tuner. So what we want to think about on the tuner is that 440 is going to be the center, and that's normally what they call the pitch. That's 440 pitch. So most of the time you tune a string to that. What we're doing, if you have the tuner, 440 is in the center, and we're going to use the numbers. So we are going to look at just our fourth string, and we talked about that before. That this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4, and that would be our E note. So if I pick that fourth string, and you notice that it registers here with a light, it's showing E. Also that the needle is showing 440. So that is what we're tuning that fourth string to. Now I'm going to detune that one. Now we talked about also if I took this key and turned it counterclockwise, it would lower that note or lower these numbers. So I'm going to pick it again, and then I'm going to turn this counterclockwise. Okay, you see how it's going down? So we're like at 436 probably. 434. Now it's still showing an E here. So if I wanted that string tuned to 434 and for an E, that's what I would have right there. But I want this E note or this fourth string, I want it right dead in the center. I want it 440. So I'm going to pick it again, and I'm going to turn the key clockwise. So that's going to bring this string up on the numbers, and when it gets to 440, I want to stop that. Okay, you notice it's still showing an E. We're still on E, and now the needle is right in the center on 440. Now on this gauge too, on this particular tuner, you'll notice these two lights here, when it gets 440, they'll come on also. Okay, so that's how you tune with the tuner. Like I said, you bring it up to the note that you want here, and then I'll show you one more. On this tuner, you have a sharp. So like our first string is tuned to an F sharp. Okay, so you notice the F lit up and also the sharp lit up. So that's F sharp. And I wanted that note 440. So let me look at that again. So I'm a little flat. So, and if I want to bring that note up, I turn this key clockwise. Okay, you see it came right up to 440, F sharp, 440. Again, now if I turn it to the counterclockwise, it's going to lower the numbers. See, I'm still in F sharp, but now I'm like at 436. Okay, now I want this note F sharp, 440. So I'm going to bring it up. Okay, so now I'm at F sharp, 440. So that's how you tune your notes up. You get it here on the tuner, what you want. If you want a B, a G sharp, an F sharp, a D sharp, then that's what you're going to tune to. And then you simply look at this calibration here. If you want it 440, 442, 430, whatever it is you want, then that's how you look at it right here. Okay, so now I'm going to go over each note from the top down, going from our 1st string to our 10th string with the tuner, show you where we're going to tune them up to. So let's look at that. Alright, so now let's look at tuning the pedals and the knee lever. So in this course we're going to use 3 pedals and we're calling it A, B, and C. And we have 1 knee lever because most guitars nowadays, at least even the student models, will come with that 1 knee lever. And that's going to be an E-D flat knee lever. So on my guitar, so don't want you to get confused, but on my guitar I have an extra pedal on the outside. So normally on the majority of the guitars you have, this would be A, B, C. I simply move that in 1 set of pedals on this guitar. So again, that's nothing you need to be concerned with. On your guitar, the first pedal outside here should be A, and that's going to raise your 5th and 10th string. So in order to do that, you're going to have to be able to tune that. Now with your guitar you should have got a tuning wrench. So if you look on this, on the end with the pickup is, on the very end, you'll notice some nylon adapters, which this is really, they're attached to the pull rods. Now, one way to think of it also is that if you're raising a string, in other words, like we were talking about on the tuner, if that number is getting bigger, that would be called raising it, raising the pitch. Normally those nylon adapters or those nylon tuning points will be on the top. If you're lowering a string, normally those would be located more toward the bottom. Okay, so if you have a wrench, all that wrench is going to do, and I'll just take any one of these nylon tuners for right now, it simply slips over it. So I could take any of them and that wrench will fit right over it. And it's kind of like the key now. If I turn it this way, because if I'm looking right on the end of this, I'm turning it this way, which is clockwise, I'll be raising the pitch of that note. And if I turn it this way, counterclockwise, I'll be lowering that note. Okay, so now let's just look at the 3 pedals that we're using. We're using the A pedal, which raises 5 and 10. And so I can press that pedal, and I'll notice on this end which one of these is moving. Now my guitar, again, since I have so many pulls and even have compensators, that it's really crowded underneath. So you might see another one move just inadvertently, but what I'm doing is I'm wanting this note string right here. So that's my 5th string. Okay, so if I pick this string open, the 5th string, no pedal, I've got a 440. So that's what I want to tune to open. Okay, so if I press the pedal and I've put my tuning tool on the nylon tuner, and now I need to see. I want this tuned to 436 with the pedal down. So I'm pressing the pedal, pick it again. If I detune it or make it flat, this needle will go down. So now I'm at 432. Now if I turn it this way or clockwise, the pitch comes up. I'm still at C sharp, which is what this is, went from B to C sharp, but now I'm tuned to 436, which is what I want. Okay, it's still 440 open, no pedal. Press the pedal down. It's at 436. Okay, so my A pedal is my 5th string and 10th string. So I can move my tuning wrench down to the 10th string, hit it, open, no pedal, it should be 440. Okay, and I can tune it if it's not quite tuned. Then when I press the pedal down, it's at 436, which is what I want. And again, if I turn it counterclockwise, it'll go flat. See how it went down? Or it went down in the numbers. Pick it again, and I turn it clockwise, turn the tuning wrench clockwise. It'll come up. And I want it at 436. Okay, so let's look at the rest of our notes. I have my 3rd string and my 6th string is what my B pedal affects. So I went from A to B. This is 436 open. And then when I press that pedal, press that B pedal, we want 438. Okay, so it's a little flat. I press the pedal again, look on this end, see which nylon tuning point that I want. I see this is the one that's moving. Simply slip the wrench on, pick it again, and bring it up to 438. Okay, now let's look at our 6th string. Since that B pedal affects 3 and 6, okay, 6 is 436 open, no pedal. That G sharp note, 436. Okay, press the pedal and it should be 438. Okay, now let's look at that one then. That was a little bit sharp maybe. So I'm going to put the tuning wrench on that one, pick it, and I want to come down, so I'm going to go counterclockwise. So it's real close. Okay. All right, and that one's in tune. Now the last pedal is our C pedal. That's going to raise our 4th and 5th string. Our 4th string is tuned to 440 open. And then with the C pedal in, it's going to be 438. Okay, so that one's in tune. 440 open. Press the C pedal in, my 4th string should be 438. Okay, my 5th string open is 440. And then when I press that C pedal down, okay, I want 436. So let's look at that one now with our tuning wrench. Okay, I see these two moving. I'm going to put it on this one. C sharp, 436 is what I have. Okay. Okay, now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to tune our knee lever. That should lower our 4th and 8th strings. So our 4th and 8th strings are tuned to 440 open. And then when we depress the knee lever, it'll be 438. Okay, so that's going to be the same way. If you notice I said normally the lowers will be on the bottom, so you see there they are. The nylon tuners are on the bottom. So that's where you would tune that if you have to tune that up. Okay? Alright, so that's our 3 pedals and our 1 knee lever. Again, use the nylon tuners on this end. Use your tuning wrench. If you turn your tuning wrench clockwise, it's going to raise the pitch with the pedal down. It's going to lower the pitch if you turn it counterclockwise. And what you do, normally the raises are on top, the lowers are on bottom, and you can press those pedals and knee levers, and then you can locate the nylon tuners down here. That way you can just simply slip your wrench on and be able to tune it up like that. I hope this video helped you in tuning your steel guitar. In the next video, we'll be looking at our bar and picks in more detail. But first, if you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that would be by joining our Patreon site. But you can also support us by clicking the join, like, or subscribe buttons below. We just want to take this opportunity to thank our supporters on YouTube and Patreon, especially our Tier 3 supporters, Jim M. Medlock, William, Philip, Arthur, and Douglas. So thanks again, guys, and keep picking.